Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. It's Monday, so you know what that means. Yes, we have the Mallard. I'm hoping to do 2 issues for you today. You already know by the description, and as far as I can see, there's not going to be any problem with doing two. We're basically doing the same thing, just to both sides of the engine. It looks like we're starting on cylinder blocks. It doesn't look like there's a great deal to do. A little bit of drilling, a little bit of bending, a little bit of screwing. So let's get into it. Let's get building.
Welcome to the workshop, tools in the light, screws and glue, they're holding it tight. Piece by piece, it's a builder's delight, making dreams in the still of the night. Let's get into it, let's get building now. Put it all together, I'll show you how. Screw by screw and a little glue too. Welcome to the workshop, it's waiting for you.
Right, so here we have issue 95. Now, as you can tell, last week we did put the engine together. We've been asked to take it apart again straight away, pretty much. So I've done that. And you notice we've got some very tiny little bits of hardware there, some screws and some nuts. And this is the sheet we have for this time around. So that's what we have. We've got M2 nut, we've got some M2 screws. That's actually M2 screws there. We've got some 12BA nuts and 12BA screws. So that's 12BA times 330 seconds. So don't know why they've used metric and imperial on the same page, but never mind. As you can see, we're just making up this box, which is obviously part of the cylinder assembly. Just shaping it, bending it, and gluing it. And then we've been asked to take the engine itself. Got to drill 2 holes either side. I have actually already done that. Just basically opening up these 2 holes here to 2mm, or 2.1 I should say. Is taking the M2 screw, and then we just got to screw that block on the side, as you can see there, and then we've got a little bit of bending there, and then just assembling it on the side of the engine, as you can see. So shouldn't take too long to do this. And so the other one is pretty much the same thing, just on the opposite side. So I'll grab that magazine as well. I might even do them in tandem, to be fair. Although what I don't want to do, obviously, mix up the two, so I might do them individually, actually, just because we're working with similar parts. It'd probably be easy to get them mixed up left or right, etc. So we've got the Mallard story, and we have classic locomotives. Just try to work out whether that was when they all came over, and there was the great gathering, which might have been. Right, so standard procedure, obviously take the parts out, give them a clean up, and then we crack on with the rest of it. So very first thing we're doing is going to be bending this piece up like that, and then I'm going to bend it the opposite way as well, like so. Now I've not bent that fully yet because we actually need to make it shape to this as well. So you just got to bend those. You've got the lines here. So you're just going to bend those up like so. And you'll notice we've got lots of little lines on here, and that's because we've got to match this curve. So I'm just going to make sure that is straight along that edge first. Make sure that does sit properly there. And as far as I can see, we basically want to have this sat on top of this part. So as you can see, just using my larger pair of pliers, and then just trying to get this to conform to that shape. So that's pretty good. We'll get that glued into place. So with that glued in place, this is going to mount just here. Now the way we're going to mount that is using the M2 screws and nuts. Now for some reason in the images they show a brass screw, but this is a silver screw, as you can see. I'm just going to get that in there. Now it does look like they hold themselves in a little bit, which is good, because that's going to make the next job a little bit easier. We'll get that in so they're loose. And basically we just need to take the nut, and you might just be able to see this on the top cam. Just basically slide it down and try and meet the nut and the screw together with any luck, and then get that screwed in like so. Just do the same with the top one. So we now have that one in there like so. Pop that to one side, and we're going to take out this piece. And quite simply just need to bend that 90 degrees like so. And then we need to take our detail bracket. So that's the inner, and this is the detail part. Again, just going to clean that up. And that's quite simply just going to fit on the front like so. And I think the easy way to do that is grab one of my little clamps, get it so that these holes align, like so. And then just going to run a little bit of glue along the edge. And with any luck, this means I don't get covered in glue. Apologies for the state of my hands. I've been working on the Trans Am, which hopefully there'll be a video out soon for it. And it's very, very close to fully completed, which I'm looking forward to finishing. Okay, so it's still working on the right hand side, this piece here. We're going to need our very tiny screws, which are these ones. And they're simply going to drop through these holes here. There's one, there's two, just like that. This one might need a little bit of persuading. There it goes. Now, this is where it's going to get fun. We basically need this, with these two holes here, to line up with those two screws underneath. And then we need to use the nuts there and bolt it all together. So let's see if I can get these to line up. I think it's going to be easier to remove the rods and the front driving wheels. Right, so with front driving wheels removed, we should have better access to put this bracket in. I'm just going to try my needle nose pliers to hold the nut and see if that makes a difference. Right, so that's got it going. Just get that tightened up. And I'll just use the needle nose pliers on that lower one and get that one tightened as well. Right, so that's our other bracket in place. Now, we're not doing anything with these parts at the moment. We've got that and we've got this spare piece here. So going to leave that to one side. I'll just mark it as issue 95. And then we'll do the exact same thing on 96 so that we don't have to put all this back together for the minute. While I've got it out like this, I am going to just do the do this first, and then I'll show you the magazine at the end. Just so we do have that in the right place. Squeeze those in. And then again, we take this one and bend it around that curve. Like so. And we've got the same hardware as we did in the last one. And it's going to be the same process. So the two screws going in these holes. Interesting enough, I think on the Flying Scotsman, I think these were cast metal, not that we had to build them up like this. If you're interested in the Flying Scotsman, I'll probably be doing that again tomorrow night on my live stream. So pop along if you're interested. It'll be at 8 o'clock UK time. Again, just going to try and get this nut to line up. I wonder if it'd be easier just to try and grab the nut like that. So get both of those tightened up, like so. And then with that done, we'll move on to this motion bracket as well. So again, we've got to do the same thing as we did before. Take this out. And this detail plate. Just make sure this bit's cleaned and filed off. And then just going to bend it. Take our detail plate, straighten it out a little bit. Make sure the holes and the detail line up. I'm going to use my clamp again. So just get that glued up. And while the glue is drying on that one, we'll just get our screws in here. One. And two, hopefully. Like so. And then it's going to be the same process. Line this up with those screws, and then we'll get the nuts on the end as well. And with those bits now attached to there, we just have this one final piece for this one. Now we just need to bend it up like this. So we've got that little U shape. And it would appear it would go just under here, like that. Now, there are no tabs or anything like that, so it's just going to be a case of holding it with some glue. I think all we need to do is line it up with the hole in the top of the bracket that we've got there. So it's going to sit just there. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Again, we've got one of these spare and those as well. So again, I'm going to mark that and put it to one side. Now I'll show you through the magazine, and I'll assemble the front wheels on that again and repair that in just a moment. So here's the magazine. So you've seen what we've done. So basically the same as what we did in 95. And then we have classic locomotives and Great Railway Journeys. So that's 2 issues done. I'm sure it would have been much quicker if it hadn't been for those fiddly screws, but not too bad. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button below and give us a massive thumbs up. So, not much to do for the Mallard today, but it is another step forward to our final finished goal. If you're interested in models like this, as I say, do check out my live stream. It's on tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, and I'll be continuing the Flying Scotsman. It seemed to be a fairly popular choice when I had the option of doing it. So just try and work out where we are with it and actually try and get some more bits built on it. And hopefully we get the Flying Scotsman up and running as well. I say up and running, it's going to be a static model, but it will certainly look a lot better than it currently does. If you want to see more of how Mallard progresses or anything else that goes on in the channel, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell for notifications. That way you won't miss out on future videos. Until next time, I'll see you around. Cheers.